Cheers. Yeah, so we just got some raw milk from the local farm local farm market down the road, and it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it doesn't taste well, it tastes good. It's creamy. So we're going to be doing a session. Myself and Paul. I've known Paul a long time, and he's come over from the States via Iceland. Is that cool to say?
Yeah.
And we thought we'd record a session so that people can see how I work and what to expect if you're a client. I'm going to have my laptop open like that. Hope I'm not blocking anything. So what I'll be doing, I have Evernote open. I'll be listening to Paul as he talks, and anything that I'm looking for words or things that he says that are not supported sort of energetically, and that can be felt. All humans can feel that with a little bit of training and skill. And we'll be looking for things that drop in what he says. We'll be getting a baseline that he agrees on with an emotion attached to it. I'll just keep saying that again and again. Baseline is really important. And then I'll be looking for the underlying weakness to the situation. So, Paul, what do you want to talk about?
Let's start with we talked about commitment issues earlier. We can start from the business end of commitment.
Okay. If we go like really basic, and if you think you have commitment issues, does that bother you, or does it have to be more specific to something?
I think you pinpointed the commitment maybe, but I don't know if I recognized that it was commitment.
Okay, so tell me why you think you have a commitment thing going on.
Because I feel as if, let's just use business for example now, I feel like I'm not all in.
Okay, so you feel like you're not all in business.
Correct.
Okay, that bothers you, right?
Yes.
Or what? So you feel like you're not all in business,
Yeah.
and what's the result? What's the effect?
I feel as if if I have multiple things going on, how do I keep all those going while committing my full uninvited attention to both?
Okay, so
let's just use two things.
So you divided attention-wise at the moment.
Correct.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel as if it's probably taken away from one and adding to another, and then taking away from the other and adding to the other.
Okay.
I feel like I feel like I'm not devoting my time 100%, which could be taken away from potential.
What?
Capital earnings. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm looking at it from a monetary standpoint.
So you feel like you've divided attention, which means you're not doing anything well.
Yeah, I couldn't do it 100%.
Okay, if I flip it and say, if people think you're not doing things 100%, would that bother you?
Yeah, well, I kind of get that sometimes where people, I tell them what I have going on and they say I'm too scattered.
Okay, so if people think you're scattered, that bothers you?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it doesn't bother me as much, but it's just it makes me aware of maybe I am scattered, maybe I'm not.
Okay, so what we're doing here is we're just trying to find out where it really bothers you. So I said people thinking you're scattered doesn't bother you, but being scattered, thinking you're scattered, that you don't want that, do you?
No.
So I could put it bothers you, but is that a worry? What would you describe the emotion is?
When people think I'm scattered?
Or just thinking you're scattered?
Thinking I'm scattered, it's more of when is it going to be more singular? It's kind of like a when. It's kind of like a timing. I kind of think I am scattered at the moment, but then I might bring it back into singularity at some point and be less scattered.
Okay, so if I think about you being scattered or failing, what's worse?
Failing.
Okay, so this is quite complex here. So you're talking about kind of something in front of deeper stuff. So you're like, I'm scattered, I'm divided, I'm not fully paying attention. Da, da. But what's the problem with that? Well, the outcome is failing. Yeah, so it's a cause. So you're looking at the symptoms and you're worrying like, well, cause and effect. If I stay scattered, I'm going to fail.
Sure.
Okay, so if we get down to failing, now, failing, or if people think you're a failure.
Probably wouldn't feel good.
Okay, let's go with that then.
Yeah.
People think. So I'm going to make it maybe hurt you a little bit more. If people think you're a joke.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
So what I did there is I'm playing with Paul's mind. It's not really Paul. It's on his computer. I'm kind of like pinpointing and then putting a Kimura on that mind, and like, we've got it. People thinking you're a joke. What we'll do is we'll go back through what we've been talking about and see if it's had an effect. People thinking you're a joke. That let me just get rid of that. How would you feel?
Kind of defeated, almost.
Okay. Would you be embarrassed?
Yeah, like a defeated embarrassment.
Shamed?
Shamed.
Yeah, cool. Great. Okay, so let's look at the primary weakness here. So if I think people thinking you're a joke now, if I want to look, am I working on you? Yeah. Now if I think about people thinking you're a joke, or the opposite, people thinking you're serious weakens you.
That's funny you say that.
So it's just the opposite weakness, people thinking you're serious. And then if I look at why that is, if I think about lifetime experiences and I compare that to spiritual experiences is weaker. I don't have any beliefs around that, it's just weaker. So spiritual experiences of if I think about your karma, like karmic experiences of being serious, like people taking you seriously because you were like a defeated people, like you were badass, like a
gladiator.
Not so much as being more like a lord, like lording, like destroying people, whereas gladiator's more of a different feel, and that's come up before a little bit.
Sure.
But I get it's more like a lord or someone highly ranked. So Lord, and there's karma there of defeating people. So people took you seriously, and it wasn't a joke. Like, and there was a lot of karma done there. So we resolved that karma, and strong to people thinking you're serious. Yeah. So
sure.
The karma's resolved. Was it your ancestral stuff? No. Was there anyone else's? No, just yours. Now, let's come back to the baseline. Think about people thinking you're a joke now. People thinking you're a joke. How do you perceive that now compared to before?
It's almost like a chuckle, almost like, I don't know. I get a little chuckle, like kind of moment.
Okay, so if people think you're a joke, how's your embarrassed?
It's down. It's better. It's less embarrassed.
Okay, do you still feel defeated?
No.
Okay, so it's different. So we can let's this is kind of like where the art form comes in. You've got to know where to go and look. So we're talking about. You said I feel like I'm not all in business.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you perceive that thought now?
It's more like having a few business opportunities and picking one.
Okay, yeah. So how do you feel divided wise? Like you have a lot of you're juggling a lot of things.
Yeah.
How do you perceive that in your life right now?
Balance. Trying to find a balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
How does it seem to you? Is it stressful?
No, but I feel like sometimes it could just be in balance and it just timing. It's more of a it's not stressful. It's like allocating time.
Okay, and how do you feel about allocating time?
It's more like a when. When do I allocate this versus this? I don't know. It doesn't feel as stressful. Like I can take it all on.
But you have
It's like
doubt.
it's almost like an unknown. And I guess I'm going back to a monetary thing. Where should I focus more of my time for a monetary gain?
Okay, so let's go to the opposite. If you don't get any monetary gain from what you're doing, would that bother you?
Yeah, but I'll just stop it. I don't know.
Okay, but it would. You're not neutral to that.
Sure, yeah.
So what we want is like less emotions. We want. What I'm trying to do is clear out anything where there's emotion attached to it. So Paul becomes very like neutral and calm and like more logical, less emotional about it, and then you just make decisions. Yeah. So no monetary gain. How would you feel?
Worthless, kind of.
Okay. So
Literally.
yeah. Okay. Now, if I think about, again, this is you. If I think about, is this like a mental thing or physical or like spiritual? Those are the kind of three main things. It's more of a mental thing. If I think about future or past, you have past experiences in this lifetime of so what I'm doing is I'm comparing no monetary gain to monetary gain. So you have lifetime experiences of monetary gain that were either positive. So what I'm doing is I'm checking positive or negative. So you have experiences in your life of having money that were negative, and they made you feel worthless. Bang, clear that.
And what do you mean by negative?
That you perceive them as a negative. Like you got monetary gain and it was a negative for you.
Sure.
And it jammed you up. There's something about receiving money, or like actually having monetary gain that's jammed you up. It's not neutral. It's become a negative, and there's an accumulative effect, like adding a rock to the balance.
Sure.
And it's just jammed you up. So we're clear you want to be strong to those experiences. So I do that for you on some level. You're doing it, delete the accumulative effect, which was the damaging thing. And that's from the past. Now, future, and so your past connecting to your future, that's a direction. No, but what's happening is when you think about the future, it connects back to those experiences.
Okay.
So we need to strengthen that weakness to the future connecting to the past. Yeah, so that's all gone now. So now think about having no monetary gain.
For how long? Now it's like how long?
Okay, so how's the worthless?
I don't really. That doesn't come up.
Okay, so what just happened there is Paul's more neutral. Like the worthless thing was jamming him up, and it will create the mirroring effect in your life where you're going to just attract experiences of no monetary gain, and then you feel worthless. It's like life is trying to send you lessons until you resolve it. Now that feels better, but then you said how long?
Yeah.
Well, that's more of a logical thing. Like there's cause and effect. You want to do this to get that. It's just a game.
Sure.
So if you get no monetary gain for the rest of your life, how would you feel? What's the emotion, if there is one?
Now is what am I getting out of it then? What is it?
Okay.
If I'm doing something, it's got to be for something, right? Because you just said you're going to do this for something.
Okay. So
it's almost like an exchange.
So let me throw it to an extreme. So if people think you're greedy, does that bother you? Like you're in it just for the money?
This has come up before.
Okay. Yeah, like shallow. You're just in it for the money. Did that bother you? There's no right or wrong here.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what's coming up. It bothered me a little bit, maybe. Like I don't feel like a drastic, like bothersome here.
Okay. If you you know someone who's just driven by greed.
Yeah. Yeah, and people look at them and...
Yeah, who would be that worst person that you know, like a greedy person? I'm kind of thinking Donald Trump.
I was
But
thinking the same thing. So
but no. I mean, it's just how it is, right?
Yeah.
We both said that. So when you think about Trump, what's his 3 worst traits?
Greed.
Okay.
Yeah. Arrogance.
Okay.
His filter, there is none. Like
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
just say no filter.
No filter.
Yeah.
Okay. So what to go to this level where you're making more money, which is what you want to take it to, right? At the moment, your paradigm is designed you perfectly. Your body, the way you are, your lifestyle, everything is designed on how you perceive the world based on your belief system, which is a paradigm. So we've talked about this before, that you want to be becoming a human becoming. You want to become someone else to change your situation. At the moment, the way you're designed is you can't change. You have to have a new paradigm, right?
Correct.
So to take you to the next level, which is we've talked last night about 2.0.
Correct.
You need to see those personality traits in yourself, because in the yin yang or in your shadow, we think we're one way, but we have both sets of traits. Everything has an opposite, right?
I think out of those 3 traits, I think the one that I don't have at all is the greed.
You're not.
No, I have, like, sometimes I don't have a filter, and sometimes I'm a little arrogant.
Okay, so tell me where you're greedy.
I'm not.
It has to exist. So this is your...
Maybe with my time.
Okay, what does that mean? For me, I could just sit back and just wait for you to say it, because it's got to exist in you, because I have greed in me.
Yeah, because it's all about me right now.
Okay.
There's nothing.
Me.
I don't have a girlfriend.
You're greedy with your time.
Yeah.
You don't share it.
No.
You're like, if we had a chicken meal, you just go,
sure,
that is all mine. Okay, so you're greedy with your time.
Or the milk that we just bought.
Yeah. Well, you shared that. So you're greedy with your time. Where else are you greedy? In relationships, are you greedy?
Yeah.
There's going to be like loads of girls on like liking this at this point.
Yeah, because I haven't. It's been a while since I've been in a relationship, and if I
live TV, keep. I'm just listening.
It's been a while since I've been in a relationship, and I know that I haven't. Maybe when it comes down to it, it is more about me as opposed to having a balance with that other individual.
Yeah.
And I'm using the female relationship entirely, but it's probably all correlated back to the money.
So this greed thing will show everywhere, and it's stopping you because you think, oh, greed's really bad. Yeah. You've got to be greedy in business.
Sure.
To want more.
Yeah.
I want more. Well, what you think Jeff Bezos goes, we've got enough. We're not. Jeff Bezos isn't going, oh, our business is big enough. Sure. He's greedy. Yeah. He wants more. He wants to grow it, which is, so greed isn't bad, and selflessness is good. They're both continuums, and we move between. If we deny one side, we jam up our binary nature. So you're saying, oh, I want to have monetary gain. Well, yeah, you're kind of saying you're greedy, but you're jammed up there. You're not allowing it to come in.
Sure.
There's 2.0. Okay, so your homework is to become aware of where you're greedy. Okay. It'll show up everywhere. Yeah, and then in doing that, it dissolves it. We talked about neutrality. Sure. You can do the neutrality for yourself. Yeah. Okay.
Well, now that we're diving deeper, I see it, and it's probably leading into my next questions.
Okay.
After we resolve this, it
So
if all connects.
Let's go back to no monetary gain.
Okay. It's almost kind of empty right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it's not like,
you won't do something for no monetary gain, right?
No.
So you're doing all of these things, getting nothing. Well, it's not coming in as you want.
Yeah.
So you want to be greedy, and go, okay, which is the one you have to make your choice on
Yeah.
greed,
Sure.
or we pull back. That's the extreme,
Sure.
and
But
then
put my foot down in certain circumstances and say, you know, this is my value here almost.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not me being greedy. It's me just saying.
Right.
Hey,
So
fuck
you're
off.
saying this is my
Yeah.
value. So
Sure.
if there's a greed issue, if you think it's bad,
Yeah.
you saying no, I want this. It's greed.
If I want more, yeah, I see what you're saying, and I sense that I'm in a situation like that where I don't. What's the word? I'm not authoritative enough to put my foot down there.
So when you think I'm not authoritative, we've just picked the hardest word to say. Authoritative.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm weak I'm weak to being that. Like it's like I'm not, and I mean weak meaning not strong and weak as far as emotions go, but like I'm not strong enough to say it.
Okay.
So
So
I'm not strong enough to put my foot down in certain circumstances, you know, and it's starting to get better as I'm evolving.
Yeah.
But I feel
there's something there, yeah.
yeah, it could get better.
So it bothers you. I could twist it a little bit more and get more pain.
Yeah.
But let's just go, I'm not authoritative, and you know that it bothers you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you've said put your foot down several times. So that's like a red flag for me. It's like you're going, I can't put my foot down, I can't put my foot down.
Sure.
Now, if I think about you putting your foot down, there's no energy backing that up. It might just be as simple as you want to be strong to putting your foot down or lifting it off. You lift your foot off. That's your weakness. Like, putting your foot down is the weakness, but it triggers you to do the opposite.
Sure.
Which is to lift it off, which is non-committal.
Sure.
You go, and then you go, actually, I'm gonna step off the gas.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm coming full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything has a holographic effect. It applies to every aspect of your life. So, authoritative, not or authoritative. I am. Yeah, it was more putting your foot down. Let's go back to the baseline. You said, I'm not authoritative. How do you feel about that now?
I feel like I kind of want to be.
Yeah, okay. So, instantly you're
Yeah,
accessing.
yeah.
You can access it.
Sure.
It was causing you to do the opposite.
Sure.
You're like, oh, commit? No.
And I kind of add. It's almost like I look at those traits above, and I look at.
No, it's cool.
I look at those.
Live TV.
I look at those traits above, and it's like I want to be authoritative and have some of those traits along with it. Whereas if I feel like I have some of those traits, but they're not correlated with being authoritative.
Yeah, so there's a problem about this, this
Yeah.
authoritative. And you could say Trump's authoritative. He's authoritarian.
Sure.
He just wants to make every decision.
Sure.
He wants to be the authority.
Sure.
Yeah, like dictate things.
Yeah.
But you have to have that in your locker. You have to dictate your life.
Sure.
You're like working on socialism on your life. You're like waiting for everyone else to make a decision. You need to dictate your life.
Sure.
Okay, so you can see how everything is mirroring. Yeah.
Sure.
So that feels better. Putting your foot down. Think about putting your foot down.
Nothing really comes up. It's kind of like let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. And you said full circle. We're talking about personal relationships now.
Yeah, I
Or-
mean, I guess on both, like that putting my foot down on the business stuff and on the women stuff too.
Sure. Okay. So when you think about women and relationships with women,
All right, so it's like I haven't been like searching for a relationship because that's not really how I roll. I try to let it come.
yes, you don't commit.
Yeah, but I don't really commit because I'm not out there. Dating apps for me aren't in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
I don't know why. In person, I'm way more of a charmer.
Okay.
And then I haven't really committed, but I also haven't been trying until of recent.
So you haven't committed to trying.
Correct. I'm just starting to like, kind of get out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is there a problem there?
I just think finding like attracting someone with like a dense qualities is fucking impossible.
Okay.
Not impossible, but let's just say very, very hard.
Okay, so it's difficult to meet a quality
And attractive at the same time, and someone that you want to share like a life story with, right?
Okay, so it's difficult to meet a quality late woman.
We talked about 1% earlier today, right? And it's almost like it falls in that 1% category. It's like,
okay. So you're being greedy with women.
Yeah, I'm trying.
You want everything. You know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So you want everything, but you're not getting it because you're jammed up on the greed. So you want everything, or you want nothing. You want to be neutral to having everything or nothing. Yeah.
Sure.
Then the things just start to flow.
Sure.
So we'll go to the baseline. It's difficult to meet a quality woman. That must be what, frustrating or?
It's annoying.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we have a nice baseline here, yeah? So what I do is I highlight it on my screen. When I do webinars for the online course I have, I share my screen and then people talk to me and they can actually see me making notes. You can't see it at the moment. But I highlight the baseline because it's very important. Now, if we look for the primary weakness for this, if I think about you, again, it's you. It's good that your parents are not coming up on this video. So this is you. If I think about lifetime, no. Mind is more of a spiritual thing. So if I compare you to where I hang a lot of information, which is called like Life Pentagon, if I think about your ancestors and then compare your ancestors to everything else it could be, ancestors stay weak. So I know your ancestors are weak for something. Now, difficulties, no. Meeting quality women or meeting the opposite is kind of...
Come on, man.
Actually, I hope I'm not bringing your parents... No, I'm kidding. So if I think about your ancestors' experiences of meeting quality women, it's not that. It's the opposite. It's their experiences of meeting non-quality. Now, if I say, is it the men or the women? It's both. They just didn't have a choice. So it's limitations coming from your ancestors around meeting, choosing to meet. They didn't choose, they just had to. You have ancestors that had no choice. Yeah, so it's the limitation of
like
meeting.
An arranged marriage.
Exactly, or just it was out of necessity. It's kind of quite recent that we're like got apps and we've got access
filters.
to all the
Sure.
Okay, so we remove that weakening energy coming from your ancestors. You don't need to believe that. You just need to experience the strong or weak and clear it, and then we come back to the mind. You said it's difficult to meet a quality woman. Yeah. So how's the annoyance now?
It's better. The thing. I mean, this is what I've brought this up multiple times. It's the quality's there. It's not coming up as much. It's like, why? When I'm out, why is it there more attraction from a woman not from my home country? But if they're from a different country, there's usually a shift.
Okay, why am I attracted to foreign women?
Or why are they attracted to me? I would say at least that's what it senses. Like it's easier to have conversations and.
Okay, so if I think about you and I think about them,
sure,
it's the women.
Sure.
So they're attracted to you because they have commitment issues. So they don't have to commit. They know that you're going to move on.
Okay. Okay.
There you go. So you are like a magnet for non-committal women. Because shiny objects.
So I'm fucked pretty much.
Well, no, we just need you to
clear it now.
Yeah, we just But you would have just.
But I would have been going from woman to woman to woman, and none of them would have committed. No. And I would have tried to commit, and then.
Well, yeah, you would, but you didn't really. There was a committal issue.
Sure.
So you'd attract women who wouldn't commit, and it was perfect.
Okay.
So that's shifted. So now when I ask you the question, why am I attracted to foreign women? Do you still have that question?
No, it's more of a preference thing for me. I don't know why, but
Okay.
I mean, I don't.
Whatever.
It's always kind of been like that.
Yeah. You like unusual things.
Yeah, the cultures are different, and they bring. I don't know. I feel like I'm not trying to be not open to American women. Maybe I am. Maybe I don't know if I am or not. I don't want to close that door. But
Well, maybe after this you'll marry an American woman. You need to be neutral.
Sure.
Yeah, but there's a long time preference for foreign women because of this, like taking your foot off the gas. You're non-committal.
And I've had some experiences with foreign women too.
Sure, you have.
Yeah,
That's all you've been attracting.
And she comes up. I mean, she comes up a bit.
Are we talking about someone that we both know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So when you think about that person, what's the?
It was just so genuine. You know, did it work out after a while because of some other things? But the connection was genuine.
Okay. So why did you bring that up? You miss that?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. So you miss her?
I don't miss. Yeah, I guess it's her or the genuineness of.
So you miss that relationship?
Yeah, and the genuineness behind that feeling, like.
Okay.
Wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So what we do there is, in your mind, we know that there's something that you're missing about that.
Sure.
Now, most people will go, oh, we just get over it, or block it out, or it's not meant to be. But let's look why it's bothering you. Now, if I think about the relationship, I think about.
Well, I think I try to compare too, like when I'm out.
Okay, so genuine is the weakness.
Sure.
So genuine, what's the opposite?
No, it's not genuine.
Fake.
Yeah, fake.
Yeah. Now, which human uses that word the most? Trump, right? And some people say he's a fake president.
Sure.
But then the opposite is going to be the case. He's going to get things done. So there's this spirit, there's this yin yang of everything, right?
Sure.
So if women thought you were fake, would that bother you?
I mean, they might think it based on these dating apps. I don't know.
Well, maybe that's why you don't use them. But would it bother you if people thought you were fake?
Define fake, like aesthetically,
like a sham.
Like I'll never give them something that they're desiring.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah, that would bother me.
Yeah. So should we use fake as the word or bullshitter?
Bullshit.
Remember, this will carry over in all aspects of your life, and everyone who's watching, they'll also have something. These are traits, human traits that we're all trying to balance. Yeah.
Sure.
We're working on the president as well. He changes. If you think differently of him, there's a shift in the energy as well. Although a lot of people, he's very polarizing, right? So if women think you're bullshit, what would be your emotion?
I was trying to think of a situation. I would be kind of pissed.
Yeah, there's some anger there. Yeah. Okay, anger, pissed. Anger, pissed, it could affect the bladder, could affect the liver. Just so our emotions have a tendency to affect different organs. Right. So if women think you're bullshit, now, if I think about women, I think about you. Okay, I'm going to say this is. I'm not going to tell you who it is because I don't want to say on the.
Sure.
I'll use the first letter, and you'll know on some level.
Okay.
Okay. So you're resonating with that person. So let's strengthen his thinking that it's the other way. It's that person thinks women are full of bullshit.
Okay.
Or fake.
Sure.
So there's anger and resentment towards them. So there's a strong distrust towards them.
Okay.
And you're kind of running that software, but it's not on your computer. It's not yours. It's just
So he's
down
thinking
with-
that all women are bullshit.
yeah, and there's
He's actually said that before.
okay.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about. now.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's just clear that. Delete the
He
effect.
starts with that letter there.
With that, I won't go into anymore.
Yeah.
So let's just so let's come back to you. If women think you're bullshit,
Okay.
how's your anger and piss?
I mean, it's still kind of there.
Okay,
It's,
so is it the same or different?
it's a little different, but it's there. Like,
Okay, so Paul said a little different, and that's information for me. The word little, I need to look at things like judgment. Well, it's criticism. So there's a lot of criticism there. Now, if I think about Paul, I think about the person I worked on. I think about women. This is Paul. You criticize women. You compare, and there's criticism.
sure.
And we all do.
Yeah,
Every woman, man criticizes. Yeah.
Sure.
So we're strengthening that. You want to catch yourself when you do it and do the opposite,
Okay.
which is give compliments in your mind.
Okay.
Yeah, and it'll dissolve it.
Sure.
So we'll clear all criticism towards women in the past, delete the effects. So it's just a glitch on your computer. It's not you. We all have criticism. Everyone does it. If anyone criticizes us, it's because they criticize themselves and others criticize them. They're weak too, or they criticize others. There's just a criticism thing. Now,
Yeah, but that comes up from a friend of mine too, out of California a lot. And you probably know who I'm speaking towards, but
okay.
because he does too, and maybe I try to not.
Even if you do,
I
if
try
you
to
have,
not listen to it almost.
yeah, but you're going to do it in your head. If you have people around you that are very critical and you don't like it,
Yeah.
it's because you're doing it. So you stop it, and then they will stop.
Sure.
Or they will leave.
Sure.
Yeah. So if people think you're bullshit,
In general.
yeah,
But I'm not. But I really am, or I'm not.
no. Well, how do you feel about it?
If I'm not bullshitting and it's real,
Yeah.
let's just say it's real versus unreal, or fake versus unfake. Yeah, I mean, it's still gonna piss me off.
Okay.
Like,
So it's still
it's almost like if I am bullshit, it's kind of like I keep going, right? But I know I'm not bullshit.
yeah. So that's different.
Yeah, so it's still, I'm real, but people are thinking I'm not.
Okay.
Is
So
what-
people are misinterpreting you.
Correct.
So
that
it's-
that misinterpretation
Is the
piss,
problem?
yeah, that would piss me off.
So if I think about others misinterpreting you or misjudging you or misunderstanding you, no weakness. If I think about you doing that about yourself, no weakness. No, you misinterpret, you misjudge, and you misunderstand women.
Awesome.
And that's your weakness. Clearing.
Okay.
Now, if women think you're bullshit,
It's almost like another chuckle. I don't know.
okay, so nothing really coming
Yeah,
up.
nothing.
Just by the way, I hope you can't hear the radio in the background. I asked my parents, I'm saying I'm doing a live session. They said, we'll be as quiet as possible. They just stuck the radio on full blast in the kitchen. So you can't get staff anymore. Okay, so when you think about dating now and dating women and getting out there,
Kind of excited.
okay, so it's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So when we work on these kind of software patterns or glitches that are coming in from outside of us and balance everything out because it's jammed up or there's a weakening energy coming in, I like to work both external actioning, like give you homework, like where are you doing this? Think about someone like Trump, find him things that are admirable about him so that you can be open up your shadow, like see your own stuff.
Sure.
And so there's that external mirror that we're working with. There's also this internal web that connects everything. We're all particles. We're all entangled. Anyone who thinks we're all separate just has no experience of how entangled we are.
Yeah.
We're all just particles, yeah. And there are these laws externally and with energy.
The dating thing, I guess it's like the only thing that comes up really, not only the excitement, is like how, right?
So you're wondering how to meet someone.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, it's difficult for you. It's difficult to meet someone.
Yeah, yes. Like,
Okay.
because I don't want to use the internet, even though it's an option. Um,
So we want you to be strong to. So if I think about the internet or dating apps, there's a greed there. There's some people who use it excessively. So
Yeah.
you want to be strong to that.
and they use it. Most of those individuals don't use it for the right reasons.
Okay. But I know people who meet really, like, you just need to be neutral to it. Yeah.
Sure.
So it exaggerates your own weakness. Using that, you're just going to keep getting your own kind of that fake weakness that was there that's no longer there. That was
Sure.
going to be reflected back at you. So it's difficult to meet someone. Now, if I think about that, there's no weakness. It's difficult to meet you. It's difficult to meet yourself is the weakness. Whatever that means. Clear. So let's come back to the baseline. It's difficult to meet someone. Is that true?
I mean, I guess it's just like me thinking that. I don't
Yeah.
like. I don't think it's just a thought that's coming up.
Okay, when I say, does it bother you, the thought?
I guess it's another time thing, like when, how, you know.
Okay, so there's known, unknown, knowing. Okay, so there's again a question about kind of knowing. You want to know.
Sure.
So unknowing, you're fine with. But if I think about knowing, well, in the way the Chinese would look at that, that would be more a six-sided shape, hexagon. It's made up of your feeling, your perception, and your intuition. Now, your intuition's down in relationships. So intuition you need so that your GPS internally can kind of know.
Sure.
Yeah, and then you connect to your answers, and that's offline. So we strengthen it, kind of switch it on, so you can action and then get the results. Results weak, past results with women are weakening your future results.
Okay.
Yeah, so we strengthen you to results or getting no results. So knowing the hexagon now strong, we want to strengthen the shape as well. So when I say to you, it's difficult to meet someone, what comes up in your head?
Okay, let's correlate this to business now. Kind of, it's like I watched the Conor McGregor, DVD or the show, his like kind of documentary, and
Fantastic.
yeah, it's good. And I'm at a point in my life from a business standpoint where it's kind of it's early on, it's early stages, and certain living situations and lifestyle choices are a preference for me to make sure that those early stages of business are going to move in a positive direction without a lot of stress. Finding, I guess the difficulty is finding someone that's willing to almost take the risk with you. And I correlate that to the Conor McGregor documentary with his current wife.
Yeah.
Someone that had his back from day one.
Yeah, you're just weak to having someone else's back.
Sure.
You just turn that around. You're saying it's going to be difficult to find someone who's going to risk. Or what was the wording you used?
Word was risk. Like
Yeah.
risk it with you, or
Yeah,
be with you during the
well,
tough moments to where you
You need to be strong for doing that with a woman.
Okay.
It's a double. You immediately bring up one side.
Yeah.
The opposite direction has to come up, and that was weak. Strengthen. Okay. So think about what you're just talking about.
So I'm thinking of that, and it feels different.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I just have a question, like, how many of those women are actually out there?
Okay, well, well, you need to become that.
So it goes back to becoming.
It's a mirror. You're saying that there's no one out there that will risk things for you and be that person. You have to become that person that will do it for someone else.
Sure.
And then you'll attract that person and there'll be lots.
Sure.
We started off with non-committal. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you're not willing to risk things. You're keeping your fingers in lots of pies. So you're going to attract women who do the same. So you have to be willing to risk everything for yourself first.
Okay.
And then you need to be willing to risk everything for a woman, which is scary. When you're ready you man up and risk and like, I'm ready for that person, you'll be walking around and any woman that's not ready, you won't have any time for. But women who are ready at the moment, they smell that coming off you from a mile away. So you take it on yourself.
Okay.
She'll just be right in front of you. Internal job, inside job.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we talked about holding yourself to the highest standard in every aspect and committing.
Sure.
And then you do that, and then the woman will be like your mirror.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
That makes sense.
So you're attracting women who are very maybe flaky or non-committal. Ta-da! You're looking in the mirror.
Sure.
Yeah, there are loads of those women. They're just, you can't see them at the moment. Yeah. So it's exciting because you kind of, it's just this game, this rule. You just start playing it.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, like David Goggins, we talked about, you know, I started reading his book, very interesting. He says, motivation's bullshit. You know, I want to get in shape for the wedding, or you get in shape for yourself. You respect yourself, you become the person you want to be, and then you will attract a person who is the same frequency.
Sure.
You can't be 1.0 and try and attract 2.0.
Makes sense.
So that's where it's a little bit of like external like rules.
Okay.
It's just rules, you know. And the better I become at what I do, the more I seem to attract kind of more like interesting. But it's because I'm getting to know myself more, I'm starting to attract the type of people that I'm becoming.
Sure.
It's just a big web.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So who are you pulling into your spider's web? You're going, no, there's no women out there. I'm like, they're all there, you're just not pulling them in at the moment.
Sure.
Yeah,
yeah, that makes sense.
And you want to, and when you commit and risk everything for yourself, then you're going to commit and risk everything for a woman, and you marry them. And it's a big commitment. But when I was like, I was 46, I'd never get married. And when I worked to myself and really got certain, that's when it was like, when I made the decision, I have to get married. And I had, nothing could have stopped me. I found the ring, like designed it, and came back, and there was a guy in the house, a friend of ours staying, who'd just broken up his marriage. And I was like, part of me was like, don't say it now. I was like, no, this is now. Down on one knee in the bedroom. So when you know, but that comes from an internal knowing.
Okay.
You can't fake the game. As Bob Marley says, you can't run from life. And on that note, Bob Marley.
Yeah.
We might carry on a little bit in a second, but that was just a session. I didn't want to go on too long because we're finding it interesting, but some people might be bored. But I think if you're watching this, you'll have shifted too. That's the amazing thing. Like, everyone's interconnected. So the more you work on yourself, your family, everyone else will change.
Sure. And my mom's noticed a huge difference. So.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cheers. Thank you guys.
No worries.